thought I would use this video to go over the true and false questions. It looks like I have male anatomy stuff up until number 23. So let's just go over it together. So number 1, sperm is made in the testicles. Yes. Do you remember what the name is of where it's made in the testicles? It's the seminiferous tubules. Okay, sperm is being made all the time. That's true. Nice. Okay, number 3, semen is just another name for sperm. Nope. Semen is a compilation of 3 fluids plus sperm, so 1% sperm, then there's about 70% seminal fluid, and then 30% prostate fluid, and then there's some calcareous fluid mixed in there. So I know that those numbers don't add up perfectly, but that's basically the ratio. So semen is fattening. I don't think so. Like, average ejaculate they estimate is about 50 calories, so that's like a spread of butter. So spread the semen on your toast instead of your butter. Haha, just kidding. Okay, there is fructose in the semen. Yes, there is, because it's speeding the sperm on its journey. What a man what a man eats may influence the way his semen tastes. Yes, but still, okay, so that's true, but still, like, I'm thinking to myself, how did they test that? I'm just gonna let you ponder that for a minute. And we'll move on. And I mean, if asparagus makes your urine smell funny, yes, I would guess what you eat can make your semen taste differently. And you know what? Even in the sex shops, they have stuff that supposedly makes your semen taste better. But again, I'm back to, how did they test that? I don't know about that. Okay. The testicles raise and lower in response to temperature and sexual arousal. Yes. Remember we had that temperature video? And I told you that now you can look at the balls and know where they're at with response to their sexual response. The scrotum goes up, scrotum goes down, gets closer and closer to the body. The testicles get closer and closer to the body. It means he's closer and closer to orgasm. I know we can make a cool little sentence about that. It's all in the position of the balls. Let me think about that. I'll come back with that. Okay, right? But we can make a funny quote that says, you know what he's going to come when we see the balls in some. I don't know. Something. Okay, anyway. Here we go. If a man gets blue balls, it's dangerous to his health. True or false? False. Okay, right? So when he gets sexually aroused, then those testicles get filled up with blood, which is called vasocongestion. Yes, it's a little uncomfortable. It's swollen. And remember, certain men, it seems to be worse than others. But it's not dangerous to his health. He can take care of it. Don't worry. Okay, most men have a testicle that like hangs lower than the other testicle. Yes, that is true. So it's just like most of us women, we have one breast that's bigger than the other, we have one hand that's bigger than the other, so on and so forth. You guys knew that. The testes initially develop in the abdomen. I don't think I taught you that. Yes, they do. So when the woman is about 7 months pregnant, then the testicles go down. And so sometimes men are left with a testicle up in their abdomen and they have to remove it. And why do they have to remove it? They say that they're more likely to get cancer there. There's some abnormalities. So yes, the testicles develop in the baby's abdomen and then they drop down. We're going to find out that testes are homologous, made of the same exact tissue as ovaries. If a man, oh, this one is so cool. If a man ejaculates a lot, he may use his strength. I have a video to show you.
It's a myth as old as competition. Sex can throw off your game.
There is this myth that you have to abstain from sex before a fight. no sex.
I truly don't believe in it.
The night before the game is going to affect how I play on Sunday.
I think that that is created, that myth, to keep fighters in line.
I guess it's in my mind already, so I'll just not take the risk.
So we want to know, does having sex before you compete really decrease your performance? Or is it just a coach's ploy to enforce athlete curfews? In no sport is the sex myth more commonly accepted than in boxing. Even Rocky Balboa's trainer said that women weaken knees. So in order to answer the question, we brought in two-time heavyweight champion, Chris Berg.
For me, having sex before a match, it started back when I was amateur. And then even back then, I realized, well, it doesn't affect me that much. And my wife, who's with me now, can, she can agree with me also. She was the other part of the act.
I don't think it affects Chris at all, and I've seen that it doesn't affect him. He's always said that he thinks that it's given him a boost.
I was heavyweight champion twice, and I did it before heavyweight title fights. This is something I've always wanted to disprove. I always thought it was a myth.
Chris is going to take the kind of test none of us would have minded in high school. A sex test. Chris agreed to abstain from sex for the week leading up to our test.
Chris, thank you so much for coming in. Now, you've abstained long enough, correct?
Yes, I have. It's been an hour, but I have.
So let's get to it. We're going to take your blood, run you through a whole bunch of tests, and we're going to find out once and for all.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do it.
In order to challenge the myth, Chris will undergo a battery of tests before he has sex. To test the Rocky theory that sex weakens an athlete's legs, we measure Chris's pre-sex leg strength.
So that's your highest score, is 1232. All right.
Chris has a pre-sex leg strength of 908 pounds of force. To test the argument that sex hurts a fighter's cardio, we put Chris on the bike.
That's your pace right there. Keep it going as hard as you can, as hard as you can.
Chris registered a peak heart rate of 180 beats per minute. To see if Chris's punching power is affected by sex, he laced the leather on a heavy bag containing impact sensors, specially designed by the U.S. Boxing Association.
Okay. Did some good hits on that one.
A pre-sex impact force from one of Chris's punches is an amazing 1,128 pounds. And finally, we test Chris's blood to measure his pre-sex testosterone level. It measures 325 nanograms per milliliter. That's right around average. If anything changes with Chris's chemistry following sex, we're going to be able to measure it. Some fellas may not kiss and tell, but science sees all.
We're going to send you off. You and your wife, you'll go to an undisclosed location, do your thing, come back and do the same thing.
Yeah, we're going to disprove this myth. Because I know a lot of athletes think I got to abstain from having sex right before a match. I think it doesn't do anything.
Now, the fun part of the test. Chris and his wife head to the hotel to bust a myth. We'll check back later in the show to find out if the sex myth holds up.
How was it?
As great as always.
Was this a one-round fight? 2-round?
Oh, man, it was more like a 12-round brawl. For sure. I mean, I'm being honest.
So you really did put this to the test.
Yeah, I hate talking in third person, but Chris Berg always go for the gold medal.
Always goes for the gold. Let's go ahead and run you through the same tests, and once and for all, let's put this myth to bed.
Let's do it.
You jump as high as you can. Really drive. Drop deep and drive hard. Give it everything you got. Drive hard. Drive hard.
Chris's leg strength after sex was actually higher than it was before.
I feel stronger, even more than I was yesterday.
So sex definitely does not rob an athlete of his legs.
Give me everything you got. Give me all the juice. Come on, show what you got in the tank. 1 minute down. Come on, 15 more seconds. 10 seconds. Show what you got. Show what you got. Show what you got.
At a peak of 180 beats per minute, his heart rate was identical. So sex doesn't hurt your cardio.
What is it then?
It's pain.
Okay. So that was 30 seconds.
Chris's punching power actually increased from 1,128 pounds to 1,304. So after 3 of 4 tests, Chris has proven to be just as strong 4 hours after having sex as he was before. Here's how. The carbon dioxide and lactic acid released in the legs during sex is quickly reabsorbed and takes no toll on game day. Sex does put a load on our cardio system, but if you're an elite athlete, that shouldn't matter at all, especially not the next day. Looks like this sex before sports myth might be all above the belt. In our heads. But remember, Chris came in here determined to disprove the myth.
This is something I've always wanted to disprove. I always thought it was a myth.
So what if Chris deliberately gave less effort in the pre-sex tests in order to set the bar low for his post-sex return?
Now, what do you think the chances are that he sandbagged the original test?
Well, we'll find out with the blood test, because that won't lie.
Tracy's right. There's no way to rig your testosterone level. This is the ultimate barometer. And this is the moment of truth. The results are in. Chris Bird's testosterone level before sex was 325 nanograms per milliliter, and his testosterone level after sex, 462. Chris Bird, you're our hero. You've proven that having sex before sports does not hurt your performance. His levels actually went up more than 20%.
I'm going to show it to you right now. The fluid that is released before a man ejaculates may have sperm in it. True. That's so true. Okay, we learned about that. The Cowper's fluid kind of like, it seems to lubricate the urethra, and if the man has ejaculated earlier in the day, then there's still probably sperm left in the urethra. The Cowper's fluid comes through, it pushes it out. A vasectomy is a hospital procedure that requires 3 days to be taken out from work. False. Remember, it's an office procedure. It takes less than a half an hour, and he could go back to work that day, but he might be a little sore. Okay, the prostate gland is the male G-spot. That is true. Ding, 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 ding. Do you remember what the prostate gland does? Does it make sperm? No. Does it secrete fructose fluid? No. It secretes an alkaline fluid. Okay, the penis is made of muscle. What's the answer? False, or else we'd have penis gems. That would be kind of cool, right? But it's made of spongy tissue. 3 to be exact, the 2 corpora cavernosus and a corpus spongiosum. The shaft of a man's penis is sensitive, and you have to be very careful with it. No, they say that's pretty false. If you remember, the sensitive spots that we talked about were the frenulum, which is the underside of it, that little triangular portion, and the head of the penis. So the shaft, they say you can hold it as firm as you would hold a heavy frying pan. Actually, if you watch men masturbate, they be going at that stuff. Okay, so let's go to the next one. It's possible to damage a man's penis from rough sex. Yes. So your penis can break. And so be careful with that. It's breakable. Remember, it's the tunica outline. Does the penis have a bone in it? No, it doesn't, and that's why Amy went on her rant tirade that I don't believe in penis captivus, and it's just a urban legend, it's a myth, it's a wives' tale that people tell you to scare you. I don't like that. That's ridiculous to me. Okay, a man's penis is proportionate to a man's hands or feet. That's actually false. I know a lot of us do that. I have girlfriends that they tell you, oh, did you see his hands? I'm telling you. But according to research, supposedly there's not really much of a correlation there. So thinking that he has big feet or thinking that he has big hands or thinking that he has a big nose is not really a good indicator. And it's interesting because it's not really according to body size either. It's so interesting, right? Okay, so let's go to the next one. If a man has a big penis, he will also have large testicles. False. And I had no idea that some men want to have big testicles. So, if you guys did not watch that penis envy video that I gave you and I said, oh, it's long, I don't know if you'll have time to watch it. Oh my goodness. You need to go to area like, I'm going to say like 40 some minutes in, like 43 minutes in or something like that. I don't know exactly where it is, but man, it takes a lot because I'm way older than you guys. It takes a lot for me to go, what the heck? Oh my gosh. But you want to see some interesting testicles? You should check it out. Maybe I'll show you the video myself because I always like to talk about the psychology of it. So maybe I will. Or maybe I'll get to that. So if you don't have time to look for that, just maybe go forward in the modules and I might have something interesting for you on that one. Okay. Circumcision is a necessary medical procedure to help prevent cancer. What did you put for that one? Did you put true or false? The reason why I'm asking you, what did you put for that one, true or false, is because I don't have a good answer for that. That would be a bad question on the test, I think, because it does have a little bit of benefit to prevent cancer, especially like sexually transmitted diseases, which lead to cervical cancer a lot of time in females, and it does seem to be related to lower rates of penile cancer. But do the benefits outweigh the cost? We're not sure. You're cutting off foreskin that nature put on there to begin with. By the way, I think that I didn't talk to you about originally why circumcision was necessary. So it originated back in the ancient Egyptian times, from what they can tell from picture art and so on and so forth. But that makes sense to me why you would circumcise back in the ancient Egyptian times. Or we need to make some special underwear because they used to, because remember they're in the desert. It's like Mesopotamia, right? The desert, the fertile valley. And they would wear those clothes that were loose fitting, and so when the wind would come up, the sand would come and the sand would get up in there and it would really irritate the penis. So seeing that that circumcising it so the sand couldn't get trapped up there, that kind of makes sense why we circumcise. But they keep changing back and forth about circumcision, so that's why I don't know if that's a true answer or a false answer, because it changes all the time. Sometimes circumcision is bad, we shouldn't do it, and then other times, no, there's some benefits with it. So I think you should do your due diligence before you have your baby, and you should figure out what's right for you. Okay, let's go to the next one. Oh, we finished. We're going to go to female anatomy now. Okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed this segment, and we are going to move on to female anatomy.